tmux and such. So tmux, right? I'll just start by explaining that this is about some productivity tools that you can use that I discovered that helped me. But yeah, let's start. tmux. tmux is a terminal multiplexer. If you find yourself working in terminal a lot, then it's a tool that can help you organize your sessions, organize your work, and organize your projects or work in the projects. So how does it work? You have your normal terminal emulator, right? Just a moment. It doesn't work again. And now it's back on. But I lost my presentation, right? Sorry. It's working? Nice. So we have our terminal emulator, right, which is, in my case, Alacrity. So you can run you can run some programs here, right, and this is basically your session. Depending on the terminal emulator that you use, your emulator might support different tabs, different ways to organize your work. tmux is a terminal program that allows you to do that in any terminal emulator, and so it works by having a server running outside of your terminal emulator that runs the actual software. So when you run a tmux client in your terminal emulator, it connects to the server running locally, and that is the piece that is actually executing our commands. This has a big implication in that you can actually quit your terminal emulator, and all of your all of your programs will still be running on the server, and you can reconnect to it at a later time. Let's say not a lot of people are doing like remote development via SSH anymore. You use other technologies, but if you still do it, you can connect to your server remotely. You can start a tmux session there and then disconnect and reconnect later. Every tmux client, when you start a new tmux client, it will automatically start a session for you, one window and a pane in that client. And I draw this little tmux architecture. So tmux consists of three sort of separators or sort of kind of hierarchies, right? First, you have the session. Session is just an abstract representation of some sort of work, right? You can use sessions for anything you work, but I use them to I use one session per project basically. Every session can have multiple windows where you can just run your applications. Every window can have multiple panes, and this will be easier to demonstrate in the terminal. So let's go there. You start tmux by just running tmux, and voila, it started. Because it's a terminal emulator, it looks the same as your normal terminal emulator, but it supports some advanced features. For example, you can have, this is a list of sessions and windows, right? I can create a new window, and then I will be able to switch between windows like this. So in one window I can have running man, in another window I can have Docker, whatever. These are windows, right? You can split any window into panes, like this, for example. So let's say you're working on something, and then you need to just check man for something. You can do that, or you can get a command line interface to, for example, Stack Overflow, and you can actually search Stack Overflow right outside of your terminal. You can split this like any way you like. I find it pretty helpful. But to be more specific here, right? So you can write any sort of, so this is very highly customizable. One thing I will show you right now is the project selector that I built. This lists all of the projects that I have on my computer, and for example, I can just open one of the projects. It will create a new session in tmux, and it will start a new window there, and so I can just start working. So with a few hotkeys, I can open another project. Let's say I don't know, this one, and don't mind the shell startup time. That's NVM. Don't use NVM, by the way, because of this. But anyway, yeah, so this is a pretty neat tool. Allows you to just organize your shell workflow and work in a better way. It's highly customizable. You can build your own custom tooling around it. So, for example, this selector that I built, this is just pure tmux, right? And this script is like, I don't know, five lines long, but this is like a shell project selector. You can do the same for, let's say, Stack Overflow. You just press a hotkey and input your query, and then a shell program will query Stack Overflow and put you results here. Yeah, that's about it. And yeah, this is the window selector here, so you can switch between windows, either using your keys or using the number keys. So let's say 6, for example, here. I mean, it all looks the same, but yeah, I just hope you can see the little project name on top. And another tool I want to share that really helped me a lot, another 2 tools actually, so real quick. So this is to organize your shell workspace, but unfortunately I'm not fully living in Vim just yet, so I'm still using graphical IDEs. And a tool I'm using to organize my GUI programs is called Amethyst. With a few hotkeys, you can it can basically switch. It controls your windows, right? So I can just switch windows with my keyboard. I can rearrange them. For example, this is if you need software running, if you need some programs running side by side, it can rearrange them for you. I mean, this is all just a mess right now, but anyway. It supports multiple monitors. So let's say you're running 2 monitors, you can and you need to just send one app to another monitor with a hotkey. It just sends it there. It can switch between monitors. So let's say you want to jump to your next monitor, but using mouse just takes a bit longer than using the keyboard. With a quick shortcut, your mouse, your focus instantly transitions to another monitor. And unfortunately, I cannot show it here because I have only 1 monitor. And the last tool I want to show is called Contexts for Mac. It's a very sweet tool that I use to just jump between programs. So like with a command space, you open up Spotlight and you can search your files, applications, whatever. You could use this to open apps as well. So let's say I have my Notion running here. If I just, okay, Notion was not running, but yeah, now it is. So I can just type the name of the software and it will move focus to it without starting it. There is a better app that can do it. It's called Contexts, and with a hotkey, it opens up an interface similar to Spotlight, and with just a few commands, you can jump into any application that you have running. So as you can see here on the left, you have those little what do you say, like shorthands, short somethings. By typing those, it will automatically select it, and then you can click enter to jump into it. So let's say Chrome, Electricity, I don't know, whatever. I have Notion, Bear, yeah. So when you're working with a lot of graphical applications and you find that you have it's troublesome to switch to different spaces and to organize them, you can just technically keep them all in one space and then use this little context app to jump between them very quickly with just a few keystrokes. So yeah, tmux for organizing your commands, for organizing your command line, Amethyst and Context for organizing your graphical user interfaces. That's it.
Thank you very much. Okay, questions?
Have you ever used, because I like Amethyst as well, but I think Amethyst is just the best of the terrible window managers we can get on macOS. Have you ever used Yabai?
I know about it.
You know about it. I've used it in the past. Now it's pretty much impossible to use because of all of the security features. And I don't want to disable, for example, I would need to disable like secure boot on my newest macOS to actually run Yabai. Do you know of anything else?
No, so Yabai and Amethyst, and I don't use Yabai exactly for that reason, because you have to disable the
I
security.
actually run Amethyst on my machine. I actually come from i3WM from Linux, and I love Jesus fucking Amethyst so much. Yeah.
Rectangle.
Rectangle.
Open source,
Rectangle.
beautiful, works beautifully.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
using
the spiritual successor to Amethyst. Completely open source. I highly recommend it.
Rectangle, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I'm using Rectangle.
Oh really?
Yeah,
It's amazing. I use it like dual monitor setup and just hotkey it, snap, snap.
Nice, thank you for that.
When was the last time it was updated? I think I looked into it, and
What, Rectangle?
yeah.
Not sure. I gotta check their GitHub.
Wait, is it open source?
9 days ago.
9 days ago, last
Okay.
commit fix.
You have to pay for it though, I think, right?
No, it's free. Rectangle?
Really?
Rectangle is free.
Rectangle is free.
Oh, I guess Rectangle Pro.
It's a
Oh,
continuation
okay.
of Spectacle.
This rectangle, okay.
You can also
Different
contribute to
rectangle.
the
It's
community.
rectangleapp.com, right? No? No.
No, it's a rectangleapp.com is a different one. There is this.
Okay. That's what I'm on.
Yes.
So what do I go? GitHub.com/what?
Yeah, this is RxHN. So you can just write a rectangle GitHub, and I think Google
Brew
will find it
install,
for you.
or you can download the DMG
Oh,
if
got
you
it now.
want.
Yeah, thank you.
Rectangle, okay, I'll try that. I mean, the main recommendation is kind of Yabai, because it's like the most powerful.
I know,
But,
right? But I'm not going to disable like the security features of my laptop.
Yeah. Better approach, learn Vim and live in the terminal. Or Emacs, or whatever
I'm
terminal
not that
editing.
desperate. Plus, my life is in Notion actually, so I do have like graphical user interface applications that direct my life. So I can.
Oh, they have a pro version. That's cool.
Question.
Yeah.
So is it a good idea to run like a service by running it under tmux? Like, because in the past I was too lazy to write a system definition, and I just in the past it was not tmux, it was screen. I think it's very similar, right? Like a terminal emulator. So you just spin up a new session, run a command, like for example, I don't know, a web server or a logging server, and then you minimize the session and then you run it as a background process. I mean, in the past I did that, but I don't know if is it a good idea to use it? Because it works, the server works, the clients can connect, but I don't know if it's a good idea or not.
Why wouldn't it be? It's just like, it depends on your use case. Yeah, you
It's
can
like
just.
PM2, right? Very similar, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
If-
really
if
depends.
you want, yeah, if you want to do something more production ready, like the daemon services are much better because they restart the web server if it dies. If it's in the tmux, and if it dies, it's probably not going to restart for you.
I see. So the lifecycle management maybe.
tmux is not made for production.
Yeah.
tmux is a development tool.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you use it to manage your sessions. It's
Yeah.
not made. It's not made to manage your production services or whatnot. No. It's just like I use it to manage the panes and the sessions and windows. So as I showed, like I have a session per project. So I just use a Control B, Control F to open the selector, and I open a project. It automatically starts me a session with a window, and then let's say I need, as part of a project, I need to run like three Docker containers, right, with something. So I open 3 panes. Each pane will run and so not only I need to run, but for example I need to monitor the logs. So I open 3 panes. Each pane is running 1 Docker container and tailing the logs from it. That's it. It's used as a development tool, not the production lifecycle manager. No.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Yeah, I didn't know anymore, by the way. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Feedback?
Everybody's happy. Thank you very much. Right? Okay, I think that's it for our talk.